Long before one can become a champion, a journey awaits.
Each connection sounds like a bomb dropping out there.
Style made famous by
Good God! And got it! He's out! He knocked him clean out!
This is Primetime Boxing.
Welcome to the Houston Club in downtown Houston, Texas. I'm Matt Topolski for Primetime Boxing, and as always, I'm joined by our expert boxing analyst, Bob Spagnola. Bob, good evening.
Thanks so much, Matt. Great to be here with you tonight.
We have an exciting card tonight, Bob, and here at the historic Houston Club, we've had a lot of fights over the past few years, but it's coming.
Beautiful venue.
It's coming to an end.
Yeah, well, supposedly they're gonna move it to a different venue, but let's hope it's downtown and we continue to get the support from the fight fans in Houston.
Absolutely. Savaries Promotions has done a lot of work here in the fight community in Houston, and we hope that you'll stick with them and continue to support the cause going forward.
I don't think there's any doubt about it. They sure are, I think, going to enjoy themselves tonight.
Absolutely. And we have Rico Trill joining us tonight. He's south of ringside, and he's going to be doing our post-fight interviews. Rico, good evening.
Hey, thanks, Matt. I'm Rico Trill, and I am south side of the ring tonight. I'm in the interviewing section tonight. I will be handling all the post-fights with all the fighters, all our winners this evening. It's the Fall Brawl. It's the Houston Club. So you guys stay tuned. Back to you, Matt and Bob.
Thanks a lot, Rico. You know, in our main event tonight, Medzhid Bektemirov and Zack attack Page. Zack Page, the upset specialist, and the Russian, of course. We've been waiting so long for this fight, Bob, and it's finally going to happen here tonight.
You know, Zack is the gatekeeper from heavyweight, cruiserweight, practically light heavyweights, and I'm not just talking about Texas or the United States. He's got more frequent flyer mileage on his account than most. He's been all over the world doing just his thing.
You know, and you've called him the gatekeeper in the past. What is the big, fast, and dangerous Russian going to have to do to open that door tonight?
He's got to relax. You know, he's run over the top of a lot of fighters, but he won't run over the top of this one. And when he doesn't, you know, when it doesn't go early, he's got to be prepared for a good night's work.
No question about it. So stay tuned, everyone. We have an exciting card and an exciting main event from one of our last shows here at the Houston Club. This is Primetime Boxing.
Ladies and gentlemen, who's ready for fight night? We have our main event scheduled for 6 rounds or less. The first opponent, fighting out of the blue corner, weighing at 192 pounds from Warren, Ohio. He has over 60 professional fights under his belt. From the blue corner, please welcome the Beast, Zack. His opponent fighting out of the reverse red corner, weighing at 188 pounds, from Kazakhstan, now training in Houston, Texas. He has a perfect record of 9-0 with 8 KOs. Please welcome Medzhid Bektemirov.
Our main event on Primetime Boxing has come. We've had to wait a little bit of time for this, but it is here. Medzhid Bektemirov is back in a Houston boxing ring, and tonight he goes one-on-one against Zack Attack Page. This is going to be fun.
A very interesting matchup.
The red corner has a perfect record on the line. Your main event, Fall Brawl, scheduled for 6 rounds or less.
Here we go, Medzhid Bektemirov. Don't blink, folks. Zack attack Page. This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun.
No, but listen, Medzhid is obviously a real big puncher. He's been wrecking guys through here, but he's in with a different guy tonight. He's in with a guy that's fought, 250, 280-pound fighters and taking their punches, but mostly he's taking them by taking something off of it. He's a real smooth, quick opponent, and he's going to try to frustrate Magic, with just what he does, which is stand on the outside, a lot of feints. But I wouldn't be surprised if Zack changes it up a little bit tonight, because he knows he's the bigger man. He's a very much of a thinking fighter and has been his whole career.
And Medzhid Bektemirov has come up in weight for this fight.
Oh, nice body shot to start it right up. See, the thing about Zack Page is he's made a career out of making big men look slow. This kid isn't slow. He's not a big man, but with the shot he just landed to the body, that was a vicious hook.
Bektemirov, there is nothing fancy about this guy. He is fast, he is powerful, he is dangerous. Zack, oh my goodness gracious! And we have seen it time and time again. This warrior from Russia just brings it, folks. And Zack Page needs to keep his head on a swivel.
Yeah, well, it's the quickness. It's the quickness of a smaller man. Like I said, Zack's made a career out of making big heavyweights, big punchers, big slow guys look slow. This kid ain't slow. And you can see his hand speed right away, paying dividends against Zack.
No question about it. The official gets in there, breaks him up, middle of the ring. Zack Page, some showmanship here tonight, sporting the red, white, and blue. Of course, Medzhid Bektemirov, originally from Russia, fighting now by way of Houston, Texas, out of the Savarese Fight Fit Gym.
Zack's going to change it up, but he's already on notice. He's already felt this kid's power and seen his quickness. And Zack is very much, generally, the much quicker fighter fighting these big heavyweights, because really he's a small heavyweight, really a cruiserweight.
Medzhid is looking for it. He's looking for it. He can taste it in there.
You just got to take his time, be smooth.
Oh, and there goes Bektemirov. There he goes. He's charging at him, and I don't think Zack Page knew what he was getting himself into. Down he goes. We've seen it time and time again from this guy.
We've never seen Zack Page drop like that. He fought big punchers like Eugene Hill. I don't think Eugene ever hit him on the chin.
The end of round number 1, and Zack Page is happy it happened. More in a moment, here on Primetime Boxing. Round number 2, Zack Page and Medzhid Bektemirov in round 1 ended with a knockdown and almost a knockout as Zack Page was dropped like a sack of nickels.
Coming into this fight, I wondered, could this kid relax? We've seen him overpower a lot of lesser fighters, but look at him in there. He's all completely within himself. In between the first and second round, he was relaxed. He's, not emotional. He's picking his spots. This is a real prospect, and the way he's marching Zack Page around this ring here. Zack ain't used to getting guys connecting on him like this. He's not been hit this much in his 3 previous trips to Houston.
I mean, just last month we watched Zack Page stand in the ring with Cedric Agnew, now 24-0, one of the top light heavyweight prospects in the world, and was able to hold his own to a split decision and a loss. But tonight, Medzhid Bektemirov marches into this ring and just does whatever he wants.
Right. Well, I thought Cedric won that fight easier than a split decision, but every time Cedric opened up with quick hands, he reached Zack. Zack's used to making big heavyweights, lumbering heavyweights, but you got to have incredible courage to get in there with these big 250-pound monsters. But when his speed doesn't work at 190 pounds, and it's obvious if Magic every time he touches him.
Medzhid, without question, is making every single blow count in there. And Zack Page trying to find something. Oh, and there goes the Russian again, just coming forward.
But what I love is he's relaxed. He's not, he's the inexperienced guy. He's not wasting energy. He's not flailing away. He's making every punch count.
And now he's sending Medzhid Bektemirov into the neutral corner. And Zack Page has a shoe untied, folks, so we're going to get that taken care of over there. And Zack Page, I believe, could use the breather here.
Yeah, there's no excuse for this. Listen, you tie him up, you put some tape on him. They tied him up as the fight started, but listen, he's taking advantage of everything. Yeah, I didn't see him reach down and untie that himself, but if it would be possible, he'd know how to do it. Nice. Oh, that hook down to the liver.
What a body shot. I mean, we've seen him just chop men down like trees before with those body shots. I personally sat at ringside for 2 knockouts via the body shots from this devastating and powerful Russian. Oh, Bektemirov tags him with a right. Zack Page lumbering forward again. Don't stick that head out too far, though, Zack. Oh. Bektemirov. Zack Page, center of the ring.
Zack's dead game. Listen, he would never let his opponent see, what he feels in his heart right now is where is this power coming from? But listen, guys are power punches, Matt, but you got to land that power. You got to have the quickness and the ability to land that shot. This kid's got it.
10 seconds to the end of the round, and this has become the longest fight, I believe, of Medzhid Bektimirov's career. More in a moment. Primetime boxing in our main event. Don't go anywhere. More on the Cube.
Insurance companies have their lawyers. You should have yours. Walker Texas Lawyer, 713-552-1117. WalkerTexasLawyer.com.
Round number 3 begins. Bektemirov and Zack Page in our main event here tonight. And it has been exciting to watch.
We talked before the fight. This isn't a natural science. There he was way wide with that hook, but you want to develop a kid. You want to put him in. You want him to get rounds and get experience. But at the same time, sometimes you make a mistake. You put him in too tough. You put him in with a style that he can't handle or in a situation, and it's right down there to the body. Yeah, I know. Zack's trying to let him know he really enjoyed that, but it's hard for me to imagine.
I can't imagine anybody would enjoy standing at the end of one of those punches. This guy is powerful, he is dangerous, and if you walk into the wrong moment, it could be lights out.
But he's also relaxed. He's not, sometimes these vicious punchers, they run themselves out of gas with a ton of intensity early, and that's not the case here. He's relaxed, he's fluid, he's smooth, and listen, Zack's going to box and move. I thought early in the fight, Zack might, knowing that he's the bigger man, that he might try to come and push Magic around a little bit, but after he tested that power early, we're going to see boxing tonight from Zack Page. I don't think we're going to see any physicality out of him as trying to rough this kid up.
Oh, and another body shot.
Yeah, that's right.
My God, a right hook.
Hurt me down here, Matt.
I mean, that right hook was from the old Soviet Union as far as I'm concerned. That was devastating right there. And another shot.
It's a peekaboo offense. Got his hands up, he's rotating his shoulders and working in there. You don't know which side it's coming from. Zack's trying to do his thing, but listen, he could never win this fight going like this. He's got to make something happen.
Zack Page continuing to lumber forward there, trying to work something. Medzhid laying back, picking his spots, waiting for the moment, and we've seen him do it so many times. Oh, and another body shot right there, a left hook downstairs. Oh my goodness, and a left hook sending Zack Page into the ropes and almost out of the ring.
But see, he's not jumping in every time. He feints in. He works his way in. Sometimes he takes a little bit off it, and then he loads the wagon. You never know when it's going to be the big shot, and it comes so fast and some hard. But he's smart to stay down on the body. They prepared him very well for this fight with Zack.
10 seconds to the end of the round. Another left hook, and Medzhid tried to follow up with a straight right. Just grazed Zack Page. Fortunately for him, the end of a second round, mutual respect shown between these two warriors. We go to break. More Primetime Boxing on the Cube in a moment.
The biggest adult biker bash of the year comes to the Galveston County Fairgrounds. It's Blowouts Biker Bash, March 14th through the 17th. Drink green beer and join the bash with Blowout, filled with bike shows, wet t-shirts, naughty leprechauns, and live music throughout the weekend. This event is for 21 and over only. For tickets or to reserve your weekend getaway, call 832-768-4345 or visit blowoutsbikerbash.com.
Round number 4, Medzhid Bektemirov and Zack Attack Page here in our main event on Primetime Boxing tonight. Bektemirov with a nice hook right there. Page dancing around the ring. Got a lot of energy in there tonight, and the big Russian waiting for the moment.
He's got to use that energy, and that's a little what Magic's doing in here. He's making Zack use his energy even when he's not. He's feigning his way in. The first decent punch landed by Zack Page tonight was a counter right hand.
And you can tell just from the mutual respect that Bektemirov and Zack Page showed each other at the end of the last round. Medzhid's been waiting for a moment when he can get into a fight with a guy like a Zack Page, someone where he can really test his skill and ability against and learn. And I think we're seeing that here tonight.
Zack's a very experienced opponent, and he sees Magic backing up a little bit, taking a little something off his punches right now in this round. He's trying to fill that space and take over.
Zack Page lumbering forward again. Works in that left right there. Oh, and Page saying, come on, bring it on, bring it on. That's what Zack Page is saying. Medzhid kind of sitting back, waiting for it.
Well, Zack's way behind in the fight, and he knows it, and maybe Magic's going to walk him right into something.
Much like the earlier bout that we saw here tonight between Jaron Cochran and David Green, I mean, Zack Page has taken some punishment, and he just keeps coming back. We've seen him get hit here a few times. He's been knocked down. At one point, almost knocked out of the ring, and still just keeps coming back.
He's a tremendous game competitor. He comes to fight. He comes in condition. You can see there's not an ounce of fat on him, and he's made a career out of going to other people's hometowns. And I don't just mean in the United States. He's been all over the world several times. I'd love to see his frequent flyer mileage.
Oh, and the big Russian with a hook right there. Bektemirov opening up a little bit. And then they got a break right there in the middle of the ring. Some excellent officiating, by the way, in our main event here tonight. We haven't seen the referee very much.
That's Bobby Gonzalez, one of the top officials in Texas. And when you don't see him, you know he's doing a great job.
And the saga continues. Medzhid Bektemirov and Zack attack Page. It's our main event on Primetime Boxing. We've got more in a moment. Round number 5, Zack Page and Medzhid Bektemirov in an entertaining fight here in our main event of Primetime Boxing.
Last round, Page won the round. He did a good job. He boxed, and Magic didn't really do much. He kind of took the round off. Let's see if he, I know that they're imploring him in his corner. Get back to work, son. Get back to work.
You know, this is the longest that Medzhid has been in the ring at any one time competitively. I mean, this is, at least as a professional, and he's got to go to a new place. Zack Page has been here before. We've sat ringside many a times and called fights where he's gone deep.
Oh, yeah, Zack's a 10-round fighter. Nice right hand to the body by Magic. Oh, nice uppercut.
Medzhid Bektemirov being re-inspired right there.
You can't let Zack rest. You got to make him work. The last round he took it off, and Zack took advantage of it. But they definitely corrected him in, and you know, see, Zack loves to waste time, just waste time in there, and when he's wasting time, he feels like he's winning because he's not getting hit.
And there he tries to put together a nice little combination right there. And once again, Zack Page connects.
Zack smothers him in. He's you know, he's using his experience.
Oh my goodness! And a left hook right there from Medzhid.
The first hook came, you know.
Oh my goodness! And the Russian trying to use that explosive power. Just launches Zack Page into the ropes and then follows up with a shot.
Beautiful, beautiful boxing in here. Both guys doing their thing. Magic's got to go forward, though. You know, he doesn't want to back up. I thought for a minute he might try to walk Zack into something, but he hadn't. He hadn't countered.
We've never seen Medzhid this deep into a fight before. It's hard to predict where he goes from here. Obviously, it's not him being patient. He is laying back. And Zack Page is trying to take advantage of the situation here. 10 seconds to the end of round number 5. This is a 6-round fight in our main event tonight. And Zack Page walked into a shot right there. And that is going to be the end of round number 5. Don't go anywhere, folks. One more to go in our main event here on Primetime Boxing. More in a moment. Round number 6, Zack Page and Medzhid Bektemirov. It's been a fun fight to watch. We've seen the Russian grow up a little bit here tonight, and we've seen Zack Page do what he always does, and that's stay in there to the bitter end. And a Magic chant breaking out here in the ballroom of the Houston Club tonight.
And Magic, you know, he knows now, hey, I got 1 round to go. I don't have to worry about trying to pace myself. I got 1 round to go, and that's what he's going to try to go out and do, and Zack knows too. Zack knows I gotta put a thought in this kid's head that he's never had before, because Zack knows he's way behind.
Here comes the big Russian. Zack, oh, and a body shot right there.
Stay right down on that chili box. That body can't move like the head can.
Zack Page playing some mind games in there. Fun to watch these two fight.
Now he's reaching, you know, he doesn't need to overextend himself like that. He knows what he did wrong. He just got to take his time, throw those little short shots.
Shot right there to the breadbasket, and then hits him upstairs with a right hook. Some nice boxing right there.
His corner imploring him because they want him to really finish with a bang, but he's already put a great performance in the books.
Can Medzhid Bektemirov put the cherry on top of the sundae here tonight in our main event, or will Zack Page do what he always does and hang on to the final bell?
Both fighters painting each other, but you know, listen, Zack's got to make something happen to try to win this fight. But he's just trying to survive. He's not gonna take any chances. That's just not the type of fighter he is.
Zack Page again clinching inside. Oh, the big Russian comes back with a left uppercut and then a right.
He's probably learned more in this fight, Matt, than he has in his prior 9.
No question about it. This fight has been longer than perhaps his prior 9 combined.
But it's all about learning on the job.
Zack Page, not that he needed it, but earned a lot of respect tonight, hanging in there. It's time for the grand finale of our main event. And that's it. Medzhid Bektemirov and Zack Page hug each other in the center of the ring. What a contest between these two. We're going to go to the judges and Johnny Bravo with the official decision of our main event here tonight on Primetime Boxing.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your final bout, Fall Brawl with Savarese Promotions. We had to go to all 3 judges' scorecards. Judge Ray Zaragoza scores the bouts 57-56 for Zack Page. Judge Danny D scores the bouts 60-53 for Medzhid Bektemirov. Judge Dr. Kaleo scores the bouts 59-54 for your winner. And still undefeated by split decision, Medzhid Bektemirov.
Medzhid Bektemirov goes to 10-0. A curious split decision, if I do say so myself.
You know, it's a subjective thing, but I don't see that at all.
No traditional dance from Medzhid tonight. He walks out of the ring, and he's going to meet up with Rico Trill down at Southside.
All right, I'm here with Medzhid Bektemirov. Split decision tonight. How do you feel about the fight?
Разделенный decision. Как ты чувствуешь насчет боя сегодня? Что ты думаешь? Ну да, скор туда-сюда дали.
Ну, готовился. Много времени пропустил, были травмы. Что смог, сделал. Соперник тоже нелегкий, тяжелый. Это, наверное, все сказалось. Ну, спасибо всем, вот моим друзьям.
He was working hard, he was preparing hard, he had 2 traumas on both hands. It was not easy opponent. It was a very good fighter on the other side, so it's all part of it.
Okay, so now we want to know, since this went 6 rounds, what do you have planned next for us?
Сейчас 6 раундов. Что ты дальше хоть планируете?
В следующий раз я буду еще больше готовиться. На 8-10 раундов. Я много пропустил, и это моя ошибка. Будем работать.
He will work harder. He will preparing for 8 and 10 rounds and work more and more.
All right, well, my man, we look forward to seeing you next time. Still undefeated. Back to you, Matt and Bob.
Thanks a lot, Rico. An exciting event here tonight. Medzhid Bektemirov was taken to the distance, but he got it done.
You know, it's great work. Sometimes, you know, you have a short night, but I think he learned more tonight, Matt, than he possibly had in his prior fights all combined together. This was a great schooling experience. Obviously, he passed the test with flying colors.
And he definitely spent more time in the ring tonight than he has in all of his past fights. There's a long journey ahead of him, but I think we've seen a few exciting prospects in the ring here tonight.
Yeah, what about Jared Cochran and David, giving him all that work in here, taking that kind of a beating for 6 rounds, really earned his money.
He just kept coming, and he just kept coming. But at the end of the night, we've seen 2 solid prospects who are going to move forward, and we want to thank everybody at home for joining us. Until next time, I'm Matt Topolski.
With Bob Spagnola.
Good night.